Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Wappleville. Well, technically, it's still the 4th of July somewhere. As long as you're not in the Central or Eastern time zones, it's still July 4th. So we're going to go with Mountain Time. Yeah, because that makes it still July 4th. And, of course, Pacific Time. We're going to draw ourselves a bit of a constitution. Wait a second. For whatever reason, this is not doing what I wanted it to. Okay, now it's there. Don't know what was going on with that. We're going to get our little pencil over here, and we're going to sketch ourselves out again. A little bit of a USS Constitution here. I see. I never did get a chance to move that, move the tip jar or anything. Actually, not really many places I can put that bad boy. So we're just gonna see what we can do here. Computers have been all kinds of crazy. That's one of the reasons we haven't been able to do all the streaming stuff lately. So my apologies for that. I guess all of our tip stuff is just gonna land right there on the ship. Let me get my reference going over here so we can get this show on the road. Okay, there we are. Horizon lock. There we go. Let's get that. Do I want to see how far zoomed in am I here? I think I might be a little bit. Okay, I still got one zoom left. A little bit of Constitution versus Guerriere. A little War of 1812 action here. I believe that's where our horizon line is going to maybe a little further. Okay, right there. How's about that? Remember, we do this here, and we got our 9 equal boxes here that kind of represent this overall aspect ratio of 5 by 7, only smaller. We try to have our center of interest be in one of these 4 areas, and we try to have our horizon line right around those, not in the center, not too far up here. We try to have it in as close to one of those 2 points as possible. Let's start doing some boats. Let's start doing some boats again. We're gonna do a little bit of Constitution over here, and a little bit of again. I always pronounce it Guerriere. Ever since I was a kid, I always pronounce it that way. It might be pronounced something more like Guerriere or something like that. That could be its correct pronunciation, but we'll just go with Guerriere because I don't know, because reasons. Now we're gonna have a little bit of a mizzenmast break over here because chain shot and all that good stuff. 44 gun frigates right there. Maybe a little. Okay, there we go. Yep. Horizon line's got to go a little bit over that whole line. I think we're getting there. Well, let me see if I could. Oh, here you go. So there's actually 2 of them, Alu. Now this is the one where all of our Twitch sessions go. So this is the Linseed Fellowship right now. There's also James Wample on YouTube. That's really more for all the Patreon videos. But this one right here, and I think the latest video was probably the not Nimue, Lady of Shalott. Do I actually? Oh, she might be downstairs. Oh, but gee whiz. Of course, I knew I was going to forget something. But yeah, that will be this Linseed Fellowship, a YouTube channel. Now, where's my marbly things here? I knew I was going to forget a ton of stuff. Let me just have these out here because I forgot I wanted to show these to folks. There we are. All right. Yeah, this was the latest video for speaking of the Patreon page. We did these. So, because people wanted to see a marble video, well, they got themselves a marble video, and I'm gonna be making another one. Also, there was this too, a metals workshop video. This is super fun. This is the Morgan Le Fay on that serpent throne. How's it doing drying? Wow. I know what I'm gonna be filming tomorrow. I'm gonna be filming. This is wow. And I didn't use alkids on that. That's crazy. I did not use alkids on this. So, I'm going to be filming that later today, technically. That's going to be cool here. Let me just move some stuff out of the way. At a certain point, maybe I run downstairs and grab that Lady of Shalott, because that's in the photography area downstairs. So I might go grab that. Come on, let me get up here. Another one here. And another one there. So, Alu, I hope that you're doing really well. I hope that you're doing fantastic. And again, I should go down about here. Sorry that I missed the last couple of streams. Well, the first one was the computer dying, and then there was almost me dying in some of the tornadoes and storms. So there's been some minor details with that. It's been interesting to say the least. Actually, today we kind of got off easy today. The last couple of weeks have been frisky. Today we it wasn't and it was no fun today, but we got off easier than a whole bunch of other folks did. Yes, there is. Sometimes you just take the W where there is a W. Never complain about a W, even if it's an incomplete W or if it's not the kind of W you were looking for, right, Elu? Boy, and of course I moved that one. Well, I mean, we have tons of them here. So actually, Elu, this one is on the. One second here. Let me see if I can grab him. I know this one right here is on the Linseed Fellowship YouTube channel because I just put him up there last week. So yeah, this was just up there last week, so you should be good to go on that one. Now where the question is, where can he go? He's just gonna go over here then. Okay, fine. That's dangerous, but that's where he's gonna have to go. Oh, gee whiz. Actually, Elua, there's a whole bunch of. It takes a little longer to scroll up there. There we go. So we did. We actually did a couple of. I think we did 3 Balrogs, and then there also was the Moria Dragon, and all of our other. Well, and of course, our Dunlending. Same thing. Those were all painted on the stream there. Now let me see. Where is my scene here? Because okay, it's and of course, yes, it's this day right here. We're still in the 4th of July. I did not get to do the Flat Thursday stream, so we're doing Flat Thursday on Sunday because reasons. Yeah, so that was not that's not how it was supposed to go down. It sometimes things just happen, and lots of things have happened in the last week. That's for sure. Hopefully, other people have had maybe less things happen this week. Sometimes less things happen, more better. Right, Camda? Less is more, and more is way too much. So Camda, well, I don't think I sent you this page of stickers. But look at this. So here's this is a whole page of series stickers. Now there's 2 of each, but yeah, these are all individual. You've seen this one. I've shown you this one on stream, but here's a whole bunch of those other stickers, and then there's these. So Camden, I don't know if you've seen that meme, the WNBA player with the pointing meme. That gave me the idea to do these right here. So I think I did 3 pages of them. Oh yeah, look at that. Wait a minute. Somewhere is. Oh. Yeah, there's yours, Camda. There's Hasty right there, the Hasty Hobbit. Yeah, there he is. I thought you would like that one. And of course, well, I was gonna. Let me see if I can put this thing back somewhere else. I'm just gonna put him over there for right now. Oh, and of course, we also. I'll be trying to get some primer on these right here. These have been super fun. So yeah, that's not everybody gets their own sticker, right, Camda? Only Hasty Hobbitses. So Camda, there was a part of me that was thinking I don't even think I'm gonna be able to stream today because let's put it this way, the phone was blaring and it was flood warnings and all this other kind of stuff, and that was at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock or something like that. So it was not looking fabulous. It was looking a little less than fabulous, that's for sure. All right, now I can finally start erasing some of these here. And then this will be a little bit easier. Okay, there we go. It's already going to be a little bit easier to see what I'm doing here. All right. Just going to try and get this set as much as I can. And then we're going to get to a gear here. That needs to be lower. Maybe down there. Camda, it's I now. Ooh, I don't know. Did you probably just came in after this, Camda? So, well, I don't know if you've seen this video yet, but look at this. It's dry, so I can actually film this. I'm gonna film the next episode after the stream, basically. So yeah, we're doing part 2 of this little sort of metals workshop series right here. I think we'll be starting out with all the green glowy stuff there, Camda. Now, the other thing I will say, Cam, is that I have basically 2 fleets worth of ships that are completely prepped. They just basically have to be primed. And then those seri things, right? I haven't been able to print. I haven't been able to stream, but I have been able to film videos. Oh, and of course, reconstruct computers, right, Camda? Yeah, because we didn't have enough things going on. We have to like, oh yeah, we also have to basically rebuild all the computers from scratch because that's always fun to do that. Now I don't know if you have more time to mess around with the printers there, Camda, because I saw what you posted on the Instas. Maybe wait till there's more folks in the chat or something like that before you maybe post your pictures of your fabulous that color printer. Uh, boy, now Camden, that didn't mess you up, right? I mean, where's my? Oh, there it is. I was hoping that I didn't mess up your streak there, Camden. I guess it doesn't matter if I stream. It's only if you watched it, right? That's all that matters. I didn't want to screw up your streak there. I didn't get a chance to send Valfera a message. But actually, no. As long as he watches the VOD, right? Tomorrow it'll still count as part of the streak. I believe that's how it works, right? So I'll shoot him a message, and I'll just say, hey, be sure to watch the VOD there so that you can keep that streak going. Now I actually got a message from Arid because Valfera had told Arid what was going on here. Oh, and of course, another reason why this is later is they're still firing that heavy artillery, Camda. I mean, we're talking like thermonuclear weapons are still going off here, so it's that kind of crazy. What do we want here? We want this going. That spar. We're gonna substitute sponsons for spars. I think on the stream here, Valfera. Yep, we're substituting sponsons for spars. Nope, I need that. That's right. I needs that. I'm gonna get that. Yeah, that's why I've only got the pencil here, Camda, because I mean there's some serious artillery being fired right now. And it's not like, blocks away or down the street or something like that. It's right behind the house. Here we go. And of course, Camden, if you want the smell of gunpowder, there's like a giant fog in the neighborhood, and all you can smell is gunpowder. It's everywhere. And of course, well, if they didn't get to do it today, Camden, they would have been doing it on the Monday stream. Now, Cam, just the way things are these days, I'll try to let you know, but I wouldn't be surprised if like every day it's like, well, we'll see if we can stream. It's probably going to be that level of crazy just from now till I don't know December. It seems that way. So I apologize in advance for folks that are just like, what's going on? Why was there no streams? So we're starting to definitely get ourselves some boats here. We got ourselves some boats showing up here. And again, not gonna go too bonkers with the oh, that's the gaff rig right there. No, I'm going the wrong way. That way it needs to go. We gotta get our tumblehole design here. We gotta do this stuffs. Oh yeah, one okay, mast over here. And now I'm not gonna screw around with this anymore because again we're gonna mostly wipe it out. Oh, and of course, Camden, I'm glad that you like these. I'll probably film one of these again on Tuesday or Wednesday. So hopefully you don't get too tired of the marble stuff. So we're gonna be filming the other episode, second episode on Morgan Le Fay. We're gonna film another one on those, just because well things are very chaotic right now, and that is something that I can do. Kind of keep the line moving. Oh, there they are. It's like I had a whole bunch of these things. Where'd they all go? There we go. I'm just going to try and bust that up a little bit, soften that baby up. I thought I had a little more thinner. Apparently I have no thinner there, so we're going to try and grab this thinner here. So bear with me 1 second here. Just going to try and get some thinner out here. And there goes the cap. That's not good. And of course, oils are the original watercolors. So let's do the original watercolors here. I'm going to Naples yellow. Gonna go in here. Gonna go all along here. Some of it gonna go there. Because again, oils are the original watercolors. More of that here. You can see it's kind of picking up the pencil lines, right? And kind of carrying those around, moving it around, doing stuff. Some of this now. We can't have nothing there. We gotta get a little something there. So we're gonna get some form of a little bit of yellowish stuff there. Oh, those were earrings. I think that's what I saw, right, Camda? The earrings. I'll just maybe, let me do a little. Come on, there we are. A little more of that white in there. Maybe a little bit more depression blue. Let's see what that does. A smidge of the pains. There we are. It's like, okay, we'll just keep trying till we gets it. We're gonna keep on trying till we gets it. Now we got it. We're going to use it like this. Over you go there. Skies. You're going to get some of this. Going to go up there. Hey there, Armored Wolf. Sorry, I couldn't kind of keep you updated. I was going to try and start streaming, oh gosh, like a half an hour ago, but the computer just said, no, you're not doing that. Computer was like, oh, you think you're going to stream, right? That's cute. That sounds like you had a plan. I'm going to modify that. So hopefully the fair went okay there, Armored Wolf. So never mind. Hopefully the day went okay for you. Hopefully things went all right. So again, oils, what are they? They're the original water colors. Yes, they are. Armored Wolf. What's crazy, Armored Wolf, is that the loudest, heaviest stuff only just happened. So that stuff that you heard there, that was the small stuff. The real stuff, like the actual heavy-duty, high-impact stuff, that was just like half an hour ago. Yeah, the stuff I sent you, that was like people playing with sparklers. Which to regular folks, that would seem a little crazy. But that's kind of how things are. It's pretty much that level of crazy. And it was 360. It was going on everywhere. I mean, there was nowhere you could turn that you were not getting kind of blasted there. And of course, speaking of getting blasted, there was all kinds of craziness going on with all the weather stuff. Hey there, AD. So AD, oh actually AD, of course, if you want to share anything in the chat, please go ahead. Same thing there, Camda. But AD, speaking of weather stuff, were you guys okay there with your weather? Because I know that, well, let's put it this way, Armored Wolf, max velocity, he set a record, I think, of 63 severe notifications. Everybody check out that Instagram link that Camda just shared. So yeah, he set himself a record there, Armored Wolf. He was over 60. He'd never gone over 50. I'm glad that things are kind of okay there, AD. And of course, same thing there, AD. You want to post some stuff, please go ahead, post some stuff. And of course, Camda, I forgot the not Nimue, but the Lady of Shalott. I forgot that downstairs in the photo area. So there I might go up there and grab that at a certain point there. So yeah, that again, go ahead and share some stuffs there, AD, because again, I know you got things that you can share. I'm gonna do this up here. I'm gonna have to send Kate a message there, AD, because Oak Lawn was really getting nailed pretty hard. Everybody check out the Instagram link that the AD Creations just shared. Everybody please give AD Creations a follow. Everybody please give Camda Paints a follow. Where's my... Okay, yeah, mast here. Mast here. Smokies gonna be in there. Obviously, we'll get our rat lines and all the other stuff in here too at a certain point. AD, I'll send you. I've got tons of fireworks videos for you. Got lots of fireworks videos to show you. Get these spars going. So instead of Sponson and Sons here at Camden, it's Spars and Sons. Yep, don't have Sponsons, but we got Spars. No problem there, AD. Like I said, AD, I'll send you a couple of things there. I figured you would love to have some Chicago fireworks videos. So I'll get those your way. Because again, there's still the heavy artillery is still going, even right now as we speak. And congrats there on the 50 followers. Camda, congratulations. Let's do. I'm gonna go a little bit this way here. Stearns's. Tumble Home Design. Come on. Yeah. One more back here. Okay. For wavy waves, let's do some wavy waves. Here again, oils are the original watercolors, so we're gonna go super watercolory because it's oils. Way better than watercolors for watercolor stuff. I think we keep inching closer, Camden, to the 10K. It'll probably take quite some time, but there's really not that many more to go. I think it's like 100 and something away, or maybe 200 and something away, right, Camden? It's kind of like Cinco Trace, right, Camden? There's nothing that's actually special that happens. It just is really nice to see it. But we do appreciate all the folks that do the follow thing. Yeah, we're hoping that one day that magical 10K number gets reached. I know it's like 9,970 something or whatever. I can't actually see that page right here because I got my reference, so I can't see that. All I always see is my reference right now. That is it. Nice to see you there, Conrads. I hope that everything goes well there, Conrads. Of course, Conrads, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to Conrads. Happy Sunday to everybody's. Speaking of Sunday, AD, is it going to be a Sunday Fun Day stream day for you then today? I just realized again, my whole internal clock is really completely wiped out at this point. Oh yeah, Camden. So that story I was telling you about basically being trapped in between the 165-pound box and the front door. So, well, Armored Wolf, just imagine. I mean, you've been through that front door. The wind is hitting that front door so hard. The only thing that kept it from flying open was me being pressed up against it, being basically trapped in between that steel door and the 165 pounds of the that battery backup, which is now fully charged, by the way. The battery backup successfully charged. You can see now, right? This was dark. This first thing we put in her, that was kind of dark. Now all of a sudden, as we add in these little elements, all of a sudden that is not so dark anymore. Also, we can not quite yet. I was gonna say we can do a little removal here of this, but we're going to have to wait on that particular little endeavor right there. Well, that's fantastic there, AD. And of course, AD, if there's anything, like say you want to put in the chat or something about that, right? Any links or whatever, please go ahead and do that, of course. Since again, this is the original watercolors, looky here, what we're going to do, we're actually going to be removing some paint so that we can have all of our smoke and such here. So that we just removed some of that. Again, so everybody please gave AD Creations a follow. So yeah, Armored Wolf haven't been able to do anything with World Cup today. They have not had any chance to even look at that. Well, of course, well, Seattle in the 6th, right, right, Valfira? That's when the big game is going to happen. Valfira, they only just now stopped with the heavy artillery. I mean, it was going till just seconds ago. Well, that's fantastic there, AD. That is fantastic. So great to see you there. Actually, Valfira, I don't know if you heard me. Well, I don't think you heard me tell Camden. I don't know that now it started again. That I was going to send you a message just so that you could see the VOD or whatever, and that way you wouldn't lose your streak. Yeah, so I was going to send you a message like, hey, be sure to watch at least a minute. I don't know if you have to watch like a certain amount. But yeah, I didn't want you to lose your streak because Camden just got 140, right? Recoil. So great to see you there, Recoil. Yep, it is. We're still saying it's this day, because actually it's still 4th of July for Armored Wolf. So somewhere it is still the 4th of July. Now here's those stickers that I was showing you earlier there, Recoil. So here's this is a page of the Syri Republic there. Now technically 2 pages of that. Then these were the ones that I made for Marty here. Had some fun doing those. And then of course here's this is the one again, with the WNBA lady, the pointing lady. I forget what her name is, but we did some sheets of that. And oh, look at this. It's done so many of my it actually knew what I wanted. Look at this. That's not too shabby, right? And of course this is pretty fun. And then what was, oh yeah, here's the one for Camda. There he is. There's the hasty hobbit right there. There he is. Oh, and of course, our things must be messy before they can be neat. If a color goes somewhere, it must go everywhere. And of course, perfection is the enemy of completion. Camden, the one thing I didn't put on there was the dunce sticker, or the dunce hat, because I wasn't quite sure if people would understand what that was all about. So I didn't put the dunce hat on there. Which, I mean, I suppose we could do that. We could do that for the hasty hobbit, but we didn't do that for the hasty hobbit. There we are. Oh, and thanks, actually, Valfira, thanks for reaching out to Arid there. Because, yeah, Arid had no idea, Valfira, all that stuff that was going on. Arid had no idea. Absolutely no idea. So yeah, I spoke too soon. The loud stuff is back again. So if you hear something that sounds like explosions, that's not the house blowing up, at least not yet. Let's do this here. Now, actually, recoil. What I was hoping to do on stream Monday was all the small craft that I sent you, because I want to be able to do that video with that song that I sent you. Now, you were saying, recoil, that it'll play okay on the laptop, not on the phone, as long as I get rid of that stupid thumbnail thing that it puts on there. Now, what I got to do, we have to, here, we're going to take some of you, there's some of my yellow. Now, we need to start doing some smokes, some gunfires. We need to start doing some of that. That's why I didn't want you to miss out on that. Didn't want you to miss out on that, Valfera. There's a 140 for Valfera. Camda already got the 140. Congratulations to Camda and Valfera reaching the 140 mark there. What's hilarious, you can tell just how exhausted I am because I was sleeping through the fireworks, and I was laying on the living room floor, and I was still sleeping through the fireworks. It actually wasn't the fireworks that woke me up. I think maybe like the phone went off or something like that. Now, is Arid still streaming? I know it's kind of, it's sort of late, but I think Arid might even still be streaming. It's possible. Yeah, again, the fireworks are still going off hot and heavy here. They're still going off. Now, here, let me fill you in. Nope, you ain't going that way. So basically, yeah, figure Camda that maybe each day, if I was lucky, I maybe was getting 2 hours of sleep or something like that, and that's been happening since the computer died, which was I dare say it, right, Valfera? I think it was a week ago. Yes, it was a week ago today. So Sunday is when the computer died. Ooh, look at this. Look at that nice little light right there. Look at that little bit of light there. We got to do another bit here. And now, so Valfera, it wasn't quite so crazy down there by you, because again, max velocity. He's like, I've never seen anywhere near this many severe warnings. He had no tornado warnings at one point, which is really weird, right, Armored Wolf? He had no tornado warnings, but he had 62, was it 62 or 63 severe storm warnings? That's for sure, right, Recoil? Let me see, and again, I'll try to remember later to go grab that our latest. I think that's up on the YouTube channel too. Yeah, that new Lady of Shalott. The show, I guess you could say the corrupted version of Lady of Shalott. Yeah, I'm gonna go darker. Gonna go darker with these wavy things towards the front here. Not so much back there. That's about 39 minutes into. Yeah, 39 minutes. 39 minutes. That's all we've been doing with this. Now we might separate that in another way there. I'm just gonna grab you and do a little bit of wet blend in there just because. Now we got to get some much lighter stuff back here as well. There we go. Gonna take out some of that yellow there. Okay, so she's still streaming then. There's still streaming then, Valfera. Because I was thinking, like, well, wait a second. I think that Arid might still be streaming. So thanks for filling her in. Cloudy, cloudy, clouds, clouds, cloudy, cloud. Not there. maybe we'll go a little more opaque. And even this is not straight up white. I know it seems pretty light. This is not actually straight up white, believe it or not. Well, look at this, a little bit scrumbly. A little bit scrumbly going on there. Yeah. Keep going with this. Now, AD, I'm really glad that you're able to get that project done. The Nerickson thing. I think I saw, what was it, the other day, the deadline for the Nerickson contest there. That had come and gone. Now, AD, was that one of those, I forget, where you had to, basically sort of take a picture of, if you bought the figure, you took the picture as kind of proof that you bought the figure, and then, because it couldn't just be like, okay, I painted this a year ago, boom, I'm just going to chuck it into the contest, right, Artemichael? So Artemichael, hopefully you had a chance to do some kind of 4th of July stuff there, even though I bet you there was probably a little bit of fireworks in the sky. Okay. Those brushes shouldn't be on the floor, but that's where they're going to have to stay. Oh, no. Let me get a little bit of this. There we are. So we got some rigging and some other stuff going to be down here in the waters because, reasons. We got this gaff rig over here that's got to do its thing. So they're certainly going to leave that in limbo for as long as possible, probably, right, Artemichael? Because, it's not like you need to get that settled pretty quick. It's like, now we'll just leave it kind of hang around. It'll be fine. Oh, look at that. Look at it. Able to get mixed with what's already there. Let me do this here. Now, the other thing that I have been able to do is, while I've been exercising, prepping miniatures, all this other stuff, has been to see a bunch of Nomad Sculpt tutorials. And what's hilarious is that one of the things that struck me with Nomad Sculpt was that tube tool, which you can use for you can use it for, say, your typical kind of power cable type things, but it actually works really well for doing horns or even, say, hair, where you've got, really want to have a lot of it, and more in a heavy sort of way. And next thing you know, I watched another tutorial, and he's a guy that had used ZBrush for 20 years, and his favorite tool in Nomad Sculpt, guess what, is that it's that tube tool, because it has the spline and has a lot of controls. And he says, I've been using whatchamacallit for 20 years. It doesn't have a tool like this. me do this here. And a little bit more just dark over here. Oh, do I need to? I need to get, yeah, let me get some holes over here. There's holes in them, there's sails. Very wholesome. This is very wholesome painting, Camda. Yeah, it's a very wholesome painting. Speaking of which, we're going to try to do a little bit of, again, sharpening on the edge of that there. Let me just get a little sip of this here. Definitely going to have to go really strong on the wakey juice, that's for sure. With no wakey juice, there's going to be lots of sleepies on the stream, that's for sure. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought that was. That's what I thought that was. You know, and I think I'm gonna. I was gonna go more with the blue for the water, like a bluish gray, but now I'm kind of liking the idea of having some of the yellow in there because of well, muzzle flashes and all that stuff. Yeah, and again, just as I'm getting to this, there's a cannonade outside. So there's a massive fireworks display going on outside. It's only 1 o'clock in the morning. Now some folks might say, well, gee whiz, he should have just gone to sleep. I've been getting messages, Velfera, from like, Delilah next door and stuff, and Jose, and none of them can sleep because of all that. Yeah, they thought they were going to be the one, they were going to go get some sleep and do all that responsible stuff, right, Velfera? You might be able to hear that. I probably not because I got all the sound, the background sound suppressing on there. But yeah, that was remember Gettysburg, right? With the how long was that bombardment? Like an hour and a half that the Confederates did before a certain division launched itself against Cemetery Ridge. Me too. There we are. I need to. Yeah. Oh, wait. I gotta separate this a little bit too over here. So, well, we're 48 minutes in. Oh, we could even do a cinco uno, Camden. I was trying to describe to my sisters about all the cincos because none of us took Spanish. Let me see. So I believe I know that one sister took French. I think the other sister might have actually had Latin. My brother-in-law, he had Latin. Actually, most of my friends, I was the one who was the oddball at I took French. A lot of the other, they took German. German and Latin, those were kind of the two more common outside of French there. Camden, I mean, this is what we used to do with the watercolor stuff. I know we joke about it a lot. Oh, actually, oh, you know what? Well, somebody's got to remind me. Somebody has to remind me to make another one of those stickers, right? That says oils are the original watercolors, because that's a new book of WAPO. We have to have that here. Yes. So we've got to have oils are the original watercolors. Actually, Camden, this was one of my favorite things to do with the watercolors was kind of cut in this background like this. Negative painting is kind of kind of how they usually refer to it. I guess AD. When did they announce the winners for the Nerickson thing? I couldn't remember. I wanted to ask you something. I couldn't remember what it was. Of course, asking myself what my name is would probably have a variable result right now, anyways. Thanks, Cand. Appreciate that. That was the one that was driving me crazy, Camda, because as I'm doing the different sheets, I'm like, there is one. Why can I not think of it? That was the one. I just could not conjure that up in my head. Well, there was a wee bit of stress. I mean, I was like, again, being trapped between the front door and the giant box with the massive battery backup. And I wasn't exaggerating, Valfira, when I said that that solar panel is 106 inches long or wide, however you want to call it. That thing is a monster. It's like one of these sails up here. That's how big that bad boy is. Yeah, that's why I had nothing. Right, I have a half a dozen fully painted Nerix and figs, all of which were painted this year or like within the last year and a half, but none of them counted because well, they were all before that deadline. Actually, Camden, at least now that it's out of the box and I can grab the handle, I can actually just haul this thing up and down the stairs with relative ease. Getting it up the stairs with the wet cardboard box that was disintegrating every time I grabbed it, that was less easy. Yeah, that was the opposite of easy. That was pretty much more in the impossible range right there. Now we're going to start working out some detail-y type thing. Look at this. Look at this nice little bronze finish. That's from the paint that we used on our whatchamacallit there. Let me get a little bit of you, a little bit of violet. There we are. There we go. Is this going to be too dark? Nah, I'll take you and do that. Let me see what we got. So, no, more violet, more violet. Ooh, there we are. That's better. That's getting closer to what we needs. As they're getting closer. Let me do this here. Again, it's the original watercolors with no watermarks. That's just what's so sensational about the oils there. You don't get the stupid watermarks. You know what? Let me try some. Oh, that's a little bit darker than I wanted it to be. So I'm gonna roll this back. And I'm going to do that. And then I'm actually going to come back with something that is probably lighter. Like you do. Hey there, Steven. How you doing? I know the last time I saw that, it was in theaters. That's the last time I saw it. Whenever it was in theaters, that is the last time I saw it. Let me do some more of this. I'm gonna, yeah, let's work with this. Get these jibs going here. Like I said, we'll get to all the rat lines and all the other kind of stuff. We're doing it. It's all about spars. It's all about spars. No sponsons. It's spars only. I guess so. Camda, if you're gonna have a sail, a ship of sail versus ship of sail engagement at sea, does this make this kind of a sparring contest? Yeah, these sparring partners there, Camda. Now, Stephen, did you ever get a chance to see? Oh, I don't think I have. I don't think I have the image of it here, but we actually did a. You know how people do that? Okay, what if the Bismarck and the Yamato, or the Bismarck and say Iowa or something like that, were to have a battle with each other? We did a Constitution. It was a 1v1 Constitution versus versus HMS Victory, and I being the naval architecture professor, I was trying to stress the fact that in a one versus one engagement, Constitution was going to have all the advantages. Nice to see there's surface tension. So surface tension, I think I actually sent you a video of some fireworks going on. Actually, I might have sent you more than one. And of course, surface tension, if you want to share anything in the chat, please go ahead and do that. No, I'm pretty darn close to, nope, let's work this out. Now, this is a complicated bit back here because you got this gaff rig. So the top of the mast is gone. That's laying over here, and then then the gaff rig, instead of being over here where it should be, it's like going this way because everything is all whacked, all wackadoodle here. So we're going to try and have the gaff rig going this way. That's going to be difficult, but I think we can do it if we have it cross over the mast here. Looks like we can do that. So everybody check out that link that Surface Tension just shared. Fabulous oil-painted miniatures. Now, Surface Tension, I know I sent you at least a couple of pages of stickers. We were discussing the new additions that I'll be making to said stickers after the stream. Come on, get over there. There we are. We need to darken you down. No, that's got too much of that. Doesn't have enough of our paint. Wait, now it does. Fine, I'll just grab this. Smushy that out a little bit. So surface tension, all kidding aside, having basically GPT right here was like having an IT guy. I got Photoshop to work on a brand new Windows 11 machine, and obviously I couldn't use the original CD, right? Because they stopped the laptop stopped having CD drives in them quite some time ago. So I was actually able to do that. I was also reminded of my hatred for all things cloud software. And by hatred, I mean like loathing, disgusting, all that kind of stuff. Absolutely hate those. Because I went to put my my video editing software, the rather pricey video editing software on, well, the new machine, and it said, nope, you ain't doing that. You can only have this many licenses, which that's not going to be the case with Photoshop. I could put it on 10,000 machines if I wanted to. Yeah, now I might be able to do that in perpetuity. I might just put it on machines where I'm never even going to use it just for spite. I might just do that. Yeah, I might just poke the bear that way. Now this still actually does have a little bit of color in it. There is still some. Yeah, oh, I wonder. I might go a little bit darker there. That's gonna make our little smoke cloud hand. Let's do this. Now this was one thing we did with our HMS Victory versus Constitution. We did have the muzzle flashes here. Boom, there we are. So what's hilarious, Artemichael? I'm sure you've seen these ads too. For was it the old Age of Empires, right? Right, Artemichael? And it shows them putting the CD-ROM into the tower unit there. So yeah, surface tension. I've got two of those things. You know, they're the USB ones, and they work okay if you're trying to play like a DVD or something like that. But yeah, it did not. It didn't. It would not even actually spin up with the software. But I was able to actually just kind of copy the entire directory. And now that I know about I think it was the registry thing. Now that that's actually copied, I believe I can just kind of transfer that thing anywhere I need to now. It's game over, Valfira. Let me try this. Let me try this back here. This here. Let me try to, yeah, there, get the, okay, just I'm gonna indication of Windows there, which is hilarious. Windows, yeah, I went there. Now that's fantastic there, Steven. Fantastic. Now our Compass Rose universe. Actually, I think I've got. Oh, there's my stickers. 1 second here. That's gonna fall. So my my Compass Rose universe here. The reason I named it that was because I think it was maybe 2 years in a row. I think the tall ship Compass Rose came to Navy Pier and would just kind of like stop at Navy Pier and would be there for weeks. And it was basically walk right down Michigan Avenue to get to it because I worked at 333 North Michigan Avenue. So that's what I did. Is every day for lunch I would go down there and visit the Compass Rose. And I even did a painting of that. Actually, I did a couple different paintings of that. The largest one I never got a chance to finish. It still does exist, though. Yeah, so that's what gave the name. If you want to why the Compass Rose universe, that's where that comes from. Is from that ship that would stomp up at Navy Pier. So actually, Valfira, that's why I had it. That is why I had it, because I had copied the files on other drives. Oh, and Valfira, I that same link that you sent. Oh, thanks for sending the links there, Valfira. But I believe it or not, I'd already been to that page like 10 times. But the the actual, what would you say, the actual, okay, version 1.9.4, whatever the version was, that was hidden. I didn't notice where the version was. I was looking at a whole nother part of that stream of text there. Yeah, that could use a little bit of a redesign on that website, right, Valfira? Because I was looking right at it, I just didn't see it there. Give me a little more. Yeah, another one here. There we go. Okay. Made no. Let me get a little bit of the brown. Little bit of the brown in there. We'll get some again. Trying to make sure we have the tumble home. Kind of look here to the side of Guerriere. I don't think we have him anymore, Valfira, but I do remember my sister, she used punch cards. Yep, she and I remember the whole big fistful of those punch cards here. What were the side quests, right? That was Zip Drive, Jazz Drive, and side quests, right, Valfira? Some oldies but goodies or something like that. If you want, is that what we're gonna call them? Masty mast. Yes, let's go with the mast here. Not there, because that's gonna be the sail. We have to get the later part of the sail here. I can do these. No. Let me go back and get more of this. Sails furled a bit there. Now we're going to take some of our blue there. I don't think I need this much perline red out here. I mean, that's what we got. That's what we're going to use. We'll be cutting away some of the red here too, not to worry. Yeah, let me get that resolved a little bit more. I'm gonna roll maybe with this. That might need to be a wee smidge ola lighter. Likey so. Now I was tempted to see if maybe I could do a Sunday stream later today, but I think we'll just we'll wait for Armada Monday, because again I got all of those Terraforce ships, not ships, all the small crafts. So this might be we might be doing a lot of those on the Monday stream. Let me get that. There we are. There we are. So I'm gonna be. I have another machine that I've got to set up. Actually, I got to print out. This is the other thing I basically haven't printed anything in a week. Now the printers have been off for what, the last 72 hours because of all the storm stuff there. So I got to print out another set of these so we can keep going with that. Oh, what? Oh, look at this, Cam. That was very fortuitous. That was very fortuitous that I looked up Camda, because look what's about to happen. We've only done this one other time on the course of any of our streams. Almost about to have ourselves a cinco uno. It's just seconds away now, Camda. One more, and if I can find, just go to my. I got to go to my blog because I have a whole step-by-step painting tutorial there. The other thing I've got 8 seconds away there. I want to. I want to see if I can't get people that PDF that I made. So there it is. Well, at the very same time, we have Cinco Uno and Film Noir and Surface Tension with that. Oh, yo ho ho, and a genuine bottle of rum there, Val. Look at where it's going, Surface Tension. It's going right into the ship. It's like a privateer or something like that. It's going away with all the bitses there, Surface Tension. Now let's I think we might have done a film noir on those marble things. Let's do one of those after this film noir here. Oh, we don't have any Wraith ships, Valfair. I was thinking it was going to be like the Flying Dutchman or something like that. We're going to have Wraith ships, but we don't have that. Look at this. It's really not all that, not super 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 different. But let's do these. There was one. Oh, let's try this. Let me see, because there's actually two very different patterns on here, and I'm hoping that by doing a film noir we can take away the color. Yeah, you can. So the idea is, see, this has those darker inclusions. This one doesn't really have those. To try and make this more translucent, we have multiple layers of the veins, and the top veins are the ones that have the sharpest edges on them. Whereas here, again, it's like really sharp edges because that's kind of like going around the inclusions there. Now let's try this. So very different value-wise, but this actually gets darker the more color goes on there. I think anyway, right, Valfira? I know that I painted this as a kid. That's if you're wondering why I was kind of interested in this scene, I know I painted this as a kid back in the day. It was on a big old piece of masonite. Big old piece of masonite back in the day. Let me get some of my... There you go. There we are. Oh, look at that. We got wavy waves. Yeah, I'm going to change my focus a little bit because... There we are. That's a better. Another wavy wave over here. Get some more paint on this bad boy here. Is nice. I will just and we remember we were breaking these out again. We hadn't used our crafty brushes from, there it is, Hobby Lobby in a while. Brought those back out of they weren't really retirement, but brought them back out again. Finally getting somewhere here. Gets kind of a bit flat there, right, Velfira, when you lose all that extra little boost of color. Nope, that is a little too much paint sitting on there. We had to get rid of some of that. Put some more, again, some subwaves in there. Let me get some into this. Back here, yeah. And of course, that's got to be flatter, right? Not so flat here. Flatter the further back that you go. Let me do this side. We got to kind of lock in where the edge is on our stern here. Now, what about you? I'm going to anchor. Let me take. Fine, we'll get a little bit of our Mars. Be a little deep in there, too. We got ourselves a rudder we need to do. No, that's going to be too late. Let me get back to more of the Mars yellow deep here. Nah. Don't want that to end up being too thick. Let me take, because again we got these we got some broken mast. We also have we have a spar down. There's a spar that's down. There's the spar. Continue that one. Okay, there. Here again with that stern, that should work out okay. No, that's gonna be too dark there, I think. I want to lighten you up just a smidge over here. There we are. Yeah, okay. Gun ports. Let's get these babies open here. Gun ports. Now I might do real quick like is I might go refresh the medicine. Because well we've been using a little bit of it. And trying to stay away the sleepies there. Top of this here mast. There we are. Bottom. Let me get a little bit more of the brown in this bottom spar here. That's right. That's kind of the new. That's the new hotness, right? Is to do the big drone displays. Wasn't it University of Texas there, Valferret, that has the giant longhorn, I believe, with the drones kind of all flying in formation, and they have fireworks going off of them. Or am I thinking BYU? Or maybe both. I don't know. Just again trying to get the lower portion of our cells a little bit darker here. Blending brush of some kind. We'll just use you. We're not doing this. We're doing this a little bit of tap, tap, tap there. Is the fireworks are still going at 1:33. So yeah, don't go anywheres. Don't go anywheres. We'll be right back here. I'm gonna break out. I think we're gonna start. Maybe I might start doing a little bit of rigging here. I think we might start doing some rigging. Let's get to this. We'll have to get. We'll have to do all the rat lines and such too. Get these boys here. Lines, lines, rigging, more lines. There. Rat line's gonna come down. That's because we've got the smoke here. They're gonna come. That's a little too shallow. Okay, we got first set of rat lines. Another set of rat lines. Can't really see much of the rat line there. Got a bit of the brown mixed in there too. Get a little teensy bit of dark under there. Expand on some of these spores a little bit more. Just kind of been waiting to get the this brush going here. The one of our smaller brushes. Come on, there we are. There's gonna be a whole bunch of mosquitoes here with all of this water and everything. There massive. There are many new lakes and rivers now. So my guess is that there's going to be quite a few skeeters doing the skeeter stuff. So then that's going to make things that could make things a little bit spicy there, having all the skeeters. So whoever's coming into this area, just realize there's a whole ton of extra liquid stuff there, and it's gonna be a lot of it's gonna be sitting around. Plenty of places for the skeeters to do skeeter stuff. There we are. We need to start doing these. Nope, it don't go that way. We're just gonna wipe some of you out there. And then we'll try that. Instead, doing this here. We got 3 of these. Yes, 3 of these. Got you going here. More of these lines. Then we got these lines to do. Those, but okay, I guess we can sort of get away with that one. There. So surface tension, wasn't sure if you have to head on out with a certain hound there. Now. There we go. But I got some more stickers that I'll be trying to send to folks. Yeah, these are definitely the house-shaking fireworks that they got going on here now. So all the folks that thought, well, it would be a smart idea to try and get to bed, that plan is not going to be super successful for them. That's why we don't believe in such practices. I'm going to extend you out a little bit too. We need ourselves some dark going this way finally. I mean, we got our muzzle flashes, we ain't got no muzzles. Let's do that. Here, where's that anchor? Nothing quite yet. Actually, that's supposed to be that's a bit of a sail there. Let me take some of this. Lighten that up. Also got to change the color from the yellow to this kind of neutral violet there. And again, right in this day and age of somewhat conspiratorial times, right, surface tension, we don't believe that those are actually squirrels at all. Yeah, that last one, that was another house shaker right there. Which, well, given the fact that Fourth of July hitting on a Saturday, and let's put it this way: there's a lot of munitions that are floating around. There's a lot of munitions that have not gone used because, well, of all the kind of the way the weather has been for so long. There has not been any opportunities for them to kind of burn off any of their stock. Yep, I'm just going to go and do these lines here. Definitely have screens on all the windows here. Not that they're ever open, which I suppose it wouldn't matter because they can all get in through the air conditioner anyways. Which is why again, if I hadn't gotten this battery backup thing, I would have gotten myself a new air conditioner that's got that kind of almost like a U shape to it, and the window actually closes through it as opposed to just like sitting on top of it. Gotta refresh this a little bit here. We must refresh. Let's get these lines happening too. They will find their way in, right, Michael? You can do whatever, you can do all the stuff, and it still won't matter. They're going to find their way in there. Couple more here. Some lines coming this way now. I wonder. I don't know that. Let me see if I can't here. Get all that darker stuff out of there. Little teensy bit of our yellow there, and now let's see if I can make this really light. I think it's starting to look like it's well, doing some kind of firing there. Well, we're still only 90 minutes in. Let's see if I can remember a Cinco Dos here, Camda. Smaller ways to breaking this down. Trying to keep these again. They're not quite all the way back in the background, so they would have to be completely flat. It just was more convincing when it comes to wake and that sort of stuff. Now, let me get some blue into this, some lighter blue. Sky blue mixed with some of our, some of this right here. Nice to see you there, Neshlin. So Neshlin, here's hoping that Sunday was a fabulous day for you. I think it might just be easier if I just do this and then put that part of the naval ensign back. Yeah, we'll do that. So happy Sunday there, Neshlin. I guess it's going to be kind of a couple of days worth of, well, it's Armada Sunday. And then Armada Monday, I guess, is that what we're calling this here? Armada Sunday. Come on. There we are. I knew that was supposed to kind of come back this way a little bit. I think if yeah, I'm gonna get me a little bit of dirt under here. The windows, maybe a little bit more of our Prussian blue here. At least maybe up at the top. Okay, well that's gonna be more of a Payne's gray now. I mean, I think that'll work out okay. Now, thanks, Neshlin. Appreciate that. So yeah, so a little bit of ugly doll action there. Doing a little bit of celebration. Got this. Yeah, let's put this here, and then we'll get our reds in there after this has had a chance to set up too. Just sort of greeking that in for right now. Trying to get that gaff rig here. A little bit more of our light. I think we'll try to lighten you up a little bit on some of these gun ports here. They try to here get a little something on this railing. Ah, that's fantastic there, Neshlin. That is super fabulous. I might also get the ye old fast mat weight out here too. At a certain point. So see you later there, surface tension. Thank you so much for the pizzas and all that good stuff. And have yourself a good stroll. And of course, again, avoid those bio drones. You know how lethal they can be. Those bio drones when they want to be. Gonna give me some of those little holes there, little teensy holes. Do I want some? Let me see if I can't get a little bit. I said a little, not a lot. I gotta refresh that brush. Also, going to get me some yellow in there too, I think. Ah, there we go. Go a little bit delicate here on this, but still some more shading that has to go here, like on the basically the seal of these windows here. Another hit right there. Do I go a little darker with the... Let me try it with one of these guys here. Yeah. Nope. More thinner, it looks like. More thinner. Some reflections here. Ah, there we go. That's what we were missing over there. It's like there's something that's not there. It's obvious. I don't know what that is. Don't. And then all of a sudden, but like, oh, okay, that's what was missing. Now again, back to more of the watercolory stuff, because why oils are the original watercolors, yes. Let me, do I want to go a little more with the, I'm going to go, yeah, let's do that. Let's do a little bit of violet in the cloud. Let me see if this brush will work. A little bit more of that, well, fabulous periwinkle. Maybe a little bit of the sky blue here. And we'll do that. Again, I don't know if somebody could hear the fireworks going off, but there's definitely fireworks. I will actually maybe take a little bit more of the violet here. Taking some of this lighter blue here. And that's right there. That's all kind of mixed together. This is kind of mixing together. Again, don't have to worry about any watermarks or anything like that. Maybe even remove some paint from said brush. Right, Airwolf, how you doing? 3 stream streak there. Let's get our, whoops, I think I went the wrong way. There it is, 3 stream. Airwolf, how you doing? Appreciate you being here, Airwolf. Thank you very much. There we are. Almost went right past. There's a nice little blending brush gonna happen. Nice little blending brush. Some of that maybe over here too. So a 44 there, recoil. I think, was it 4 or 5? I think maybe at one time there were 5 of these 44 gun frigates. There was a little bit of, well, I don't want to say there was a little bit of Graf Spee to them, but they were kind of fast enough to run away from the things that were way bigger than them. And they were bigger and tougher than a lot of the typical frigates of the time, which were what, more like 32s or something like that. So they kind of were a little bit in that sweet spot. Very maneuverable also. So a number of advantages. You know what? I'm gonna try and get a little bit of some dark here. To separate that now. I'm gonna take this as almost a little bit of a blending brush here. Might grab me some fast matte white at a certain point too, but here first, let's do this. And trying to get a little bit of Sort of putting in some of the fog of war right here. Yeah, Earwolf, it's been a challenge, that's for sure. I mean, I still will be curious to see if that experiment does work, where I can significantly cool a room down or whatever by taking my battery backup and just hooking up a random uh, one of my secondary air conditioners or something like that. One of the ones that it's not one that I usually am sticking in the window. I kind of keep a few of them around for a couple of years afterward, just in case one decides to just kind of stop working for whatever reason. Nope, that is also set there too. Now I need to get me some lighter stuff on, again, on that portion of sail there. I think that has set enough where I can put the rest of our Union Jack Naval Ensign in there. We gonna take here. Let me get this just a simple pearline red, nothing super complicated here. Again, just gonna do me some of this here. And then we'll come back once we've got our red set, and we'll kind of work around it with some of the white there and get that pretty well defined. More of our lines. Come on. Darker, a little bit of thinner, not too much. We're not looking to do a pin line wash here, that's for sure. Let's break this down, break this down. And now some dark over here. Again, hopefully everybody is doing okay. I know that there's just been all kinds of bizarro weather going on pretty much everywhere. Here's hoping that people have found a way to kind of keep on the cooler side. I see over here. Let me try something. Might even get a little bit of our Mars yellow deep in that, a little bit more of that. Maybe create something a little bit more towards the neutral. Let's try this. Yep, that is because it's kind of a little bit like the turquoise blue green that we got up there. I'm gonna try to add me a little more dark in here, and that should bring out a bunch. Yeah, see this sail here too, and those holes are gonna stand out now. So here is hoping again that everybody had themselves a fantastic 4th of July. They got a chance to maybe do some of the stuff. Whether that was a culinary thing, catching a game, doing the fireworks stuff. Hopefully everybody ending July with all of their fingers intact. Those of us that just let other people have the expense and hazard of handling the fireworks, we're just like, yep, we'll just do that. Because there's plenty of folks in the neighborhood doing fireworks stuff. Not necessarily trying to delineate every single line, but just keeping it close enough, I guess you could say. I would, yeah, see, it's too hard of an edge up there. Let's get a little less of a hard edge up there. Take this. Now again, with the finer brush, we can start to maybe do even finer little wave events here. Yep. Here, let's get a little something here. Side of that, and then take some of this away here. Now, Earwolf, there was just all over the place, whether it was out west, whether it was here, whether it was up north, whether it was out east. It just seemed like it was pretty much crazy everywhere, right, Earwolf? Glad that you didn't get zonked by that, of course. And like I said here, this, as crazy as it all was today, we actually got off easy compared to some of the other nearby spots around here. Normally, we're the ones that get the 5 inches of rain in 2 hours. Oh, and apparently FEMA was knocking on doors again. So when in the last, let's see, we're now 5 days into July. If you count last July, so 35 days worth of Julys. FEMA has now gone knocking on people's doors 3 times of the 35 days of July the last 2 years. There's a whole bunch of us that like, we just skip June and July. I'll skip the birthdays. That's how you stay forever young, right, Camda? Just skip the birthdays. Now we'll leave the top of that on for right now. Blending brush of some kind. Maybe you should work. Yeah. Again, just gonna take that, yank that stuff around here. More Tuesdays, more better, right, Camda? So yeah, Earwolf, we had basically about 95 degrees here for I think it was for 4 days. The day where it wasn't 95, it was 80 something with the bazillion% humidity, which led to the storms and all that kind of stuff. Because, right, Airwolf had to go that way. Let's get, again, a couple more, maybe some lighter lines in here, not just only lines and sheets in shadow. Let me get here a bit more of this. And then we're going to get ourselves some darker stuff like we did up here. We're going to, maybe not so much with the Payne's gray. I'm going to actually get a little bit of the brown, but I'm going to try to do some of that. Again, to represent, there we go. And see, this starts to kind of, again, flatten this out. We don't want to lose any, or all of the wave action. Now we're going to get some of it out here. So yeah, with that heat index, right, Airwolf? Yeah, ours was in that 10 something there. for days and days. That gets mighty steamy right there here, Wolf. Let me do something here with that. So hopefully, Airwolf, you didn't have the whole thing losing powers or anything like that. And that's why we now have the gigantic battery backup, which can, if need be, run a 12,000 BTU air conditioner for at least 6 hours. Depending on, kind of how hard it's got to work, it could go as long as 8. And again, all the folks in the neighborhood that just a few months ago were like, well, that's just that seems a bit much. That seems a bit excessive. Now all of them, they're scrambling to buy their own. I just kept waiting and waiting and waiting, right, Camden, and all of a sudden it was on sale via the old Prime days there. Again, trying to get this gaff rig because it's kind of twisted around on itself here. This is one of the most bizarro gaff rigs that I've ever had to do. Well, for a lot of reasons. Let me see if I can get me a little bit of this and some of our rib. We're going to get a little something that's going to look a bit like planking there. Yeah. Taking this pansy gray, no, that's going to be too warm. I need something a little bit more towards the cooler neutral side here. More of our lines. Sheets and pulleys and all that good stuff. Now we're getting closer to that Cinco Dos now, Camden. It's almost 2 hours in. Getting closer. Oh, and of course I forgot to grab the Lady of Shalott figure when I ran downstairs to check on some stuff super quick. So yeah, recoil. I definitely am. I think I might have to. Well, again, I might try to wait for Prime days. But that kind of that new type of AC unit where it basically is this weird U shape, and the window actually sits down into it. Now I get that's going to require like bracketing hardware, all that kind of stuff, but it might really be worth it. Because one of the things that it does is the air conditioner doesn't have to work quite so hard because not as much of that super hot outside air is getting in. Gonna try and make it get me a little lighter up there. We better sneak a little bit of that in here. Also, it's gonna make some of those lines not be quite so prominent. In here, let me grab my fast mat. Well, we haven't put that out here yet. Where you hiding? There you are. How's about we welcome in Commander Mittens? How you doing there, Commander Mittens? appreciate you being here. Nice to see you there, Spotty. Everybody, please give Commander Mittens a follow. So, Mittens, if you want to post some stuff in the chat like always, please go ahead and do that. We're doing a little bit of belated 4th of July celebrations here. We're doing a USS Constitution versus Guerriere here. Obviously, War of 1812, but still, it's a thing. It's called Constitution. Uh, Yeah, the one advantage recoil is that when those things inevitably break, I just like, okay, I'm getting a new one, and I just chuck it in the unit, right? So nice to see you there, Weremode. Thank you so much. Now we usually do flat art on Thursdays. We did not get a chance to do it on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, so it's flat Sundays. It's a flat 4th of July. Now here's some of the other ones that we painted here over the course of time. Here, let's get some of these guys. So. This is some of our other flat stuff here, our scenes from Cyberthuria. Oh, there's one of our space landscapes. And then, of course, we did this right here, right? That was for last month for midway observation there. Now, so, here it is. And I think this was our last one right here. This one was extra fun because, look at here. This never gets old, right? Recoil, lining these things up so that the perspective matches. And we're going to be painting a bunch more of these small crafts on our Monday stream. So that was our last flat Thursday there. Let's see, I think, well, I don't actually have our last thing that we painted up on. Oh, here we go. But that's going to be for, again, our Starship universe here. We've already, we pretty much done all of the Seri Republic fleet. Now we're working on the TerraForce fleet. And that's going to be extra special seeing all these ships done. I think one of our more recent streams right here was Arianrod. Had a blast doing the marble there. Had so much fun doing the marble. We did a tutorial video with more marble. We lost our marbles here, Camda. Look at that. We lost our marbles. Now we're actually going to be doing another tutorial with more marble. Everybody check out that Instagram link. I'm not sure, Commander Mittens. We've got... I'm scrolling down here. Let me see something here. The ones that I know... Oh, here we go. So that was gold at Adepticon. That was a bronze at Adepticon. These were the gold at Adepticon. The thing that I got gold on this year, don't actually have any pictures of that, unfortunately. Let me see if I can find my scene here. Almost there. There we go. Oh, where is... Oh, here's Merlin. I was like, wait a minute. We were doing Merlin and such. Ah, here he is. So again, that was the corrupted version of Merlin versus regular Merlin here. There we go. So that's, again, that's all part of our Cyberthuria universe. We also painted a fabulous... Let me put this over here. Do I have... Oh, no, that's the... Oh, well, actually, here is the... I don't know if you saw this. I don't know... Commander Mins, if you had a chance to see the brand new Cyber Wapelius and his buddy Cad with, well, plenty of object source lighting right there. Let me get this thing put away over here. 1 second. There's a whole lot of stuff in the way. There we go. Now again, everybody please check out that link that Commander Mittens just posted. So the marble painting tutorial is all part of our Patreon page. Again, here's another example of a Patreon page tutorial right there. That is some gold non-metallic. Actually, we just started another series, and I'll be filming the next episode of this later today. This is our dark version of Cyber Morgan Le Fay. But this is, we're doing true metallics on this, and it's all with the oils. So this is true metallics versus the other, which was non-metallic. So we try to kind of do a little bit of everything. Oh, here we go. This is another one of our Patreon videos right here. This was a two-part series. Part one was mostly focused on the base and then kind of getting this underway. And then part two really focused on the panel lines and some of the interior lighting, some of the source lighting on the engine glow right there. So that was another one of our recent tutorial videos on the Patreon page. Oh, here's another one. This one was fun. Right here. That is, all of these are my own sculpts, by the way. Yeah, all of these are my own sculpts. So that's what I'm trying to do is make sure that people can. Now here's some new stuff right here. So these are, you saw that ship. Well, these are some of the folks that go with those ships that you saw right there. So we're finally starting to get to our Siri Republic figures. Now this is not one of my. This is a Dark Sword sculpt right here. But you can see our fabulous. We had a blast doing these water effects right here. This was another three-part series. And again, you can see all the water effects right there, done with a combination of the flash curing UV resin. Oh, thanks, Mittens. And again, thanks so much for the raid, Mittens. Appreciate that. Now, Mittens, were you working on that same figure that I saw you working on when I did the raid there the other week? Because that was looking very nifty, of course. Let me do this. So our oil paints here, working with the usual collection of Williamsburg, Gamblin, Winsor Newton, and of course now also working with the Paul Rubens. Be darken up the edge of this a little smidge over there, sure. Oh yeah, definitely gotta darken this up a little more here. Yep, it's also going to make that naval ensign stand out some more if we darken this up. So that's what we're going to do here. When in doubt, make things darker. Let's just do that. Let me grab out, there we go, a little bit of our Mars yellow deep. Let's roll with that. Take out some of that blue that's there. See you later there, Neshlin. Appreciate you being here. And again, let me see if I can reach some of these. I think that I can. So this is going to be some of the craft that we're going to do on our Monday stream. Again, this is all, again, part of that Compass Rose universe. We're going to be doing these in a series of different color schemes because they're going to be representing different squadrons. And this, of course, is more the official game size of this right here. So we'll be painting up this and going to look like this one right here. So Airwolf, I actually have technically five resin printers, and then the Bamboo X1 Carbon, that is, or the resin print, yeah, and then I got the X1 Carbon, that is the resin, or sorry, the FDM style printer. And of course, well, we've painted lots of terrain on stream as well. Commander Mittens, actually, one thing I'm hoping to be able to do this coming week without all of the weird weather and other strange things that have been going on is to really kind of get into Nomad Sculpt. I've kind of tried it a little bit, but again, it has a lot of fabulous tools on there. Really love Nomad Sculpt. And it works on the iPad, so you can actually create texture stamps in Procreate and then import those into Nomad Sculpt. So let's say there was, well, wood planking on a ship or something like that, or if you wanted to, like Celtic knotwork. So what would be a good example? Okay, well, here we go. Yeah. So this, you could actually do a repeatable stamp, and then you could actually stamp the texture as you sculpt it on there. And then, of course, For some of our stuff here, like Lady of Shalott, we could actually do stamps for some of our circuitry right there. Thank you so much for that follow. Appreciate that, Elite. Thank you so much. We also have a raid coming in from Erdican Wife. Wow, there's a special sound just for me. I don't recognize that sound. How you doing there, Erid? Thank you so much for the raid. We do have to have this roll for Elite, the big Gandalf 6. Let's see. Let's see if Eric can bring some good luck there. So how are you doing there, Elite? No, well, it's half a 6. Half a 6 is better than none, right, Elite? So nice to see you there, Eric. I hope that you're doing well. Everybody, please give Eric Canwife a follow. And of course, Eric, if you want to share those Pinterest links, please go ahead. A little bit of rum ration. Well, there is no rum. I guess it's a ration, though. There is a combination of a few things in here. So thank you so much, Arid. So yeah, Arid, it got really interesting here. Let me see if we can maybe find. Well, of course, here's where's our fabulous fireworks right here. So there you go. That was early, and there was tons of this. It was still going on several hours later. So yeah, there's our fabulous fireworks right there. But let me see. Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah. So this is kind of the fun stuff that's been going on. Roofs being ripped off, trees, all that kind of stuff. But then there was this right here, the fabulous, massive 165-pound battery. Everybody, please check out that Pinterest link that Irid Kenwife just shared. Now, Irid, was this another jewelry stream? And thank you very much for the raid once again. Appreciate that. Oh, geez. We gotta get this darker. Again, this crazy gaff rig back here. This is like the weirdest gaff rig I've ever had to try and paint. It's like massively bizarre. That's fabulous. Doing some paint. Now, it wasn't a Gundam, was it, Irid? Or, it might have been a Gundam. It's been a little while since the last Gundam. Okay, now I think I can finally get these lines in here. Let me see if we can get some of the rat lines on this one right here. Don't go too crazy there. Don't go too crazy. More of those here. Again, some rat lines. It's also gonna... we're gonna get some highlighty type things on our that naval ensign there as well. So again, everybody please give Ear to Kenwife a follow. Fabulous jewelry, Gundams every so often too. I think no, we're gonna leave that be. Leave that be right there. We're gonna kind of get some more of our water going down here. We haven't played with that in a little while. Let's do some of that now. There we are. Let's get some of this Painsy Gray, and maybe a little bit of this Prussian Blue here. That's what we're missing here. I was like, there's something else missing over here. That's what it was. Now we're talking. There we go. Okay. That is better. Now we need to bust up this a little bit as well. And of course, oil paints are the original watercolors, and that's why a lot of this is when people see the oils, they're convinced that they actually are watercolors. And we use the oil paints for these. We use the oil paints for the figures. We use the oil paints for terrain, for all the stuff. We use the oil paints for everything. I shall go a little darker here as well. So again, what that kind of just flattens those areas out a little bit there. That would be one of these, Camda. Yeah, that is a Mark One fingerprint right there. That is the Mark One fingerprint, which I think we can probably take. Oh, let me down with that. Let me try this. Some of this, and then we do some of this, and that goes away. Do some of our puffy cloud-like stuff there again, just literally scraping that away. Yeah, that's just that is just the again the Mark One fingerprint right there, getting on the old board. Boy, that sounds actually recoil. It's gonna be time for some din-dins also. After we're done here, definitely time for some din-dins. Because I think I ate like once today. That's it. So no sleep, ate once. That is exactly the recipe for not falling asleep on a stream, right? Oh, that's what I haven't. It's like no wonder. I just got out the fast mat. Wait, that's right. Well, there was feasting at the family's house there, Valfair, at my sister's house. So I didn't want to eat a whole bunch and then, be over there and say, well, it looks really good, but I don't be able to have too much. And then it was fireworks time. Well, then it was nature's fireworks time when we got back. So yeah, we were kind of looking to the sky there when we got back. Ooh, look at that! Look at that fast mat white. So kind of adding against some more of our little cloudy clouds there. Do some of this again, kind of scumbling that in. You can see how it kind of smooshes everything together. We're gonna do some more of that over here. Look at this. We're gonna do some smushy. Maybe a little more up here. Might darken that down somewhat. Thank you so much, Bike Life. Appreciate that. So, somebody's got Corsair problems, I see. Yeah, that doesn't look fun. Now we had half of a Gandalf 6. Can we get the rest of our Gandalf 6 here for Bike Life? We did. There's the other half. So technically, we put the two halves together. We got a whole Gandalf. Okay, fine. I'm going to get me teensy touch of thinner here. Because I want that for our smoke over here. And now another little deal here with our horizon line. Get that smushed down a little. There we are. And also change color a little bit. You can see we got some violet, magenta, whatever's down there. And get closer to the horizon line. There we are. So see you in a bit there, Erid. Again, thank you very much for the raid. So yeah, Erid, it's definitely been an Easter Bunny assault here. It's been a full-out Easter Bunny assault. I think you could safely say that. It has been weeks of that. Ooh, let's grab me some of this. No, I'm gonna go. There we are. There we are. Is nice. Really starts to set up those clouds. How's about do some of that up here? They're not necessarily having the sharp line of clouds everywhere. Oh no! Let's get a little bit of paint Ola back on that brush. Let's do that. There we go. is nice. Down we go. Again, setting up those clouds. I wonder, yeah, they're not necessarily all that different from what we do on our what we've done on our all of our space gate bases. Like in this case, on our Battlestar Galactica right here. So again, doing the clouds, just different colors, but same concepts there. And arid, of course, much like Samwise Gamgee's, right? A brace of conies or something like that is going to be really good in a stew or something like that. I mean, we can eat those. See if we go hunting those arid, we can have more. We got something we can eat. Oh, that's what I needed. There we go. Uh, that needs to be dark or in there. Yeah. So see you in a bit there, Arid. Oh, geez, look what's about to happen, Camda. Look at this. We're just seconds away now. Seconds away from it. It might be a little too dark. We will retreat from that. Put some of that over here now. So we got 22 seconds. 22 seconds and counting there, Camda. We don't usually get the Cinco Dos, but we're about to have ourselves a nice little Cinco Dos, which means nothing. People are like, what is Cinco Dos? It doesn't mean anything. But we still talk about it all the time. And there is 2-2-1, and there it is. 2 hours, 22 minutes, and 22 seconds. The reason why that's kind of, I guess, significant is that 2 hours and 22 minutes ago, this had no paint on it. It was just a blank piece of illustration board. There was no drawing, there was no nothing. We've done it all just in, again, the last 2 hours and 22 minutes and a little bit more, and that's it. That's how we roll here. Right, Camda? Do I want... that might be a little too dark, but we gotta... we'll see how that's gonna look here in a second. Again, letting that mix with some of the stuff that's already on here. This is the same, exact same paint that we use on the figures. Same stuff. The latest edition, again, is going to be the Paul Rubens, and that you can get on Amazon. That also happens to be an alkyd paint. For all intents and purposes, you're kind of looking at a faster drying oil paint in the alkyds. Now, of course, Valfira, I was not expecting this to be completely dry here, but these were the homemade. Do I have that one container here that I can reach easily? Not too much. But yeah, we were using our homemade oil paints. So yeah, this right here, a lot of the stuff, all these metals, that was actually oil paint that I made myself. That is also, again, a big part of our Patreon experience there because so many folks, well, they don't really, here we go. So these are some of the pigments that we made. We took the Green Stuff World pigment powder, we mixed it with linseed oil, and we made ourselves oil paint. Right there. Yes, indeed. No, I need a little bit of that. Okay, that's some of our blue in it, but now also a little bit of that yellow. A little bit of the yellow there. Yeah, let me grab some more of this to throw in down in the corner here. And that maybe a little bit less of the blue. Yeah, less of the blue there too. Now down in here we gotta I'm gonna take some of this. I think we might. We gotta get these windows a little bit less for schmizzled right here. Now a little less for schmizzled. Some dark here by the stern. So basically transferring this up there, that's what kind of created that weird thing up in the on our horizon line there. We need to get ourselves a couple of pulleys over here again where this gaff rig is. A little touch of something darker over here on this. I wonder. Yeah, let me see if I can get. That might still be a little too dark. Let me try this here on this jib. Just trying to get the folds in there. Okay, now that we've done that, I'm going to take maybe some of this. I'm actually going to put a little bit of thinner in this, and then we're actually going to scrape some of that away, but it's also going to kind of smooth that out just a smidge there. That away. Actually, recoil, I have to go out into the garden hopefully tomorrow and see if there is anything left. We'll see, Valfera, if Frederick the Great has survived. I mean, he survived many things. We will see if Frederick the Great, the sacred tomato plant, has survived all of this craziness. Because if Frederick the Great could literally survive 2 tornadoes, that would be one heck of a tomato plant, right? If it could survive not 1 but 2 essentially tornadic events there. And again, for the folks that had some weather mischief there, we're hoping that things are going to be maybe a little bit better for them on Sunday. I know there's a bunch of places where Sunday is going to still be very spicy. We're going to make a little bit of changeola here. Like that. Yeah, that needed to be done. Let me take some of this. Nope, a little bit lighter. Now we're talking. So we kind of have this combination of where the sky actually is lighter, so it's sort of like almost like a mini silhouette there of our rigging and such. I'm actually going to get me some more of this fast matte white out here. There. And also too, recoil, that flag that in this those videos that I showed you of the flag, that was right in the heart of that 80-mile-an-hour wind that we were getting. And there was no way of getting out there and rescuing that flag. It was out there on its own. And what's crazy there, recoil, is not only did it survive that, it still has the creases in it, like it's brand new. If I was to hand that to somebody and say, hey, you know what, that was stuck in an 80-mile-an-hour wind, Actually, yeah, recoil. I'm going to be making a video. I actually wrote something up real quick after that. And recoil. I think I sent you a few of the Seri Republic video clips there. There's one actually recoil that I've got of a young Seri like doing that first flight, and I think you will really be impressed with that video. What also folks might be impressed with is Pascal. So Pascal, why don't you post some of your stuff in the chat there? So great to see you there, Pascal. Thank you so much for joining. And again, everybody please give Pascal a follow. Now, Pascal, is this going to be one of your streaming Sundays here? I know I ask you that all the time. And a lot of times it's, well, I will if I can. But yes, everybody please give Pascal Rules a follow. Pascal has all kinds of super fabulous miniatures, busts, large scale, small scale, all that stuff. Now, Pascal, I don't have it unfortunately to show here, but I wasn't sure if you saw the much about the Lady of Shalott, the basically the corrupted version of that I painted on the last stream. That was super fun story-wise. Everybody, please check out that Instagram link that Pascal just shared. And everybody, again, please give Pascal Rules a follow, because again, Pascal also does the oil paint. Or sorry, also does the again large scale busts. Lots of really fantastic figs. Oh, I'm glad you had a chance to see that there, Pascal. That was kind of an important piece for the entire storyline. Uh, by important, I mean it kind of really sets the whole thing. So it's that level of important. And I've been waiting to get to that one for quite. Oh, here, check this out, Pascal. So the starships that we've been doing, and again, this is the Seri Republic ships here. Well, guess what? Now we have the Seri people themselves. Yes, indeed. So we've got. I already got the first two large-scale figs printed out. I'm hoping that again. I've had the printers off for days now, but here's this is one of the wind dancers. This is one of the high counselors. We've got an orator, a scholar, and again the Siri guard. I'm going to try and print out the Siri guard. I think tonight. And that's let me see if I can get to some. Here we go. So again, the orator, the wind dancer, the scholar, all of them, they're a part of the arts. And of course, this is their ethos right here, the three thoughts: low thought, middle thought, and high thought. The counselor is, guess what, one of the 12 perches of the High Council. And this, of course, is their architecture here. Let me get back down to my scene real quick, and here, of course, is, let me see if I can grab that. This is one of our paintings that we did of the Seri Republic there, Doji. How you doing? Thank you so much, Doji. Appreciate that.
So say we all.
Doji, why don't you post some of your oil painted stuff in the chat there? Now, Pascal, have you seen some of the videos that I've posted? Actually, I've got 3 of them now. I've got the 2 of the basically the human Civ, and I've got 1 of the Jolerans. I'll try to get you those links there, Pascal. And I just did a 3rd one. Now I am working on a 4th one, and that will that kind of covers this species that you're looking at here. Now again, let me see if I can get away with this here. Okay, there is that. Let me see if I can find it here. Where's my keyboard? So this is the first one right here. So I think this is the one. So again, we're gonna just put some linkies in the chat. Everybody check out the Instagram link that Doji just shared. So there is video number 1. This is a companion video to that right here. Check that one out. And then this is the newest video that I just put up the other day. There it is, and this explains the Jollerin Society right there. So there you go. Got some vids for you to check out. Ah, that's fantastic there, Doji. And of course, sorry that I wasn't able to stream, Doji. It's been, streaming in the middle of electrical storms and tornadoes, that sort of thing, is generally not recommended. And they just never stopped, Doji. Uh, I was all set up. I had this all ready to go. I had this new overlay. It was all ready to go, and never got the go because it's like, well, until that lightning stops, not gonna be doing that. So again, those videos right there, those are not public videos or anything like that. The only way you're gonna be able to see those is with that link, or those links, I guess, if we want to call it that. So if you want to check those out, you can. So here, Doji was telling folks about the new battery backup that arrived, the giant 165-pound item, which then trapped me up against the front door when the 80-mile-an-hour winds came along. And I was literally pinned between that and the front door, which was trying to blow open. So Doji, if you check out the three links right there, those are the three videos that I was telling you about. I'm actually working on number 4, number 5, and number 6. And it's already, again, part of a strategic and tactical game with the ships and everything. But also, it's just like the Cybertheria board game, trying to also have an RPG that goes with that. So the one that hit here, oh gosh, was it 2.5 weeks ago now? That one was an EF2. This one would probably be an EF0. They don't do any kind of ratings on anything there, Earwolf, until they actually look at damage. Thanks, Pascal. Appreciate that. So again, the first two videos that kind of discusses humanity's role in this universe, and then video number 3, that is all about the Jollerin Empire. And you find out that, empires, they don't necessarily form in the way people think they do. So Doji, we do a quinacridone magenta. Where the heck is it? There we go. So we actually have quinacridone magenta there, Doji. Now, we sort of did. Well, that's not really. Well, that's almost cobalt teal bluish right there. What we did do actually is cobalt teal bluish and orange. We did that, Doji. I know we did that because we did it several times. The good news, Doji, is I think there's 13 or 14 different species where I've got to make their ships and stuff. What am I thinking? The Elchiban. That might be a good one for the Elchibans there, Doji. Now, Airwolf, I don't know if you watch. A lot of us watch him. It's Max Velocity. Because not only does he have like 20 different storm chasers that are part of his channel, he also uses cameras. He even uses like railway cameras, highway cameras, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, check out Max Velocity on YouTube. I mean, if you basically want to see the tornado coming for your house, that's where you go to see it. Because he will say literally, okay, if you live here, you might want to get to shelter. There we go. Now our flag's gonna stand out a little bit more. So yeah, Doji, I think for our fish species there, we'll definitely have cobalt teal bluish be part of it because fishies, right, Doji? That's almost kind of a prerequisite there. It's almost like you gotta do that. That's not what I'm looking for. That's the one I'm looking for. Where is my? Oh, I think we were using this guy here. Yeah. Well, you're gonna be seeing it a lot on the ships, Doji. I mean, not just the bases, but on the ships themselves. And of course, that bust, we're definitely going to be using that on the bust as well. Now, I am going to try and go me a little darker up here, like so. There we are. There we go. Yes, that's more like it. Makes everything taste better, right, Camda? I'm gonna stick with this. Stick with this for right now. There we go. There we go. Now, let me see what happens if we do a little. No, nope. I'm gonna take a smaller brush for this little exercise here. Ah, there we are. We have a little bit of a gap right there. Because I do believe the cobalt teal bluish, right, was in our elves here. Let me see if I can. I don't want to make that horizon line too sharp. We just gotta make. Okay, that's pretty well lined up now. We gotta do some. Speaking of lighter stuff here, I'm gonna take some of this not radiant magenta and use that. Now we're talking. There we are, flattening that baby out. Any brush can be a blending brush. We'll just use this. Again, these are the One Happy Choice kind of beat up craft brushes there. I have a whole bunch of new stickers, Doji, that I'll say. I got a bunch of Book of Wapple stickers. And they're based on the memes of that WNBA player that did the pointing thing. And I just felt like I wanted to do my own version of those memes, and that's what I made for my Book of Wapple, except in a Renaissance era setting. Okay, we did that. We will take this. Is nice, right? Now, how's about we take some of our sky color? Color goes somewhere, must go everywhere. That's also on one of those stickers. Blammo. There we are. We'll take some more of our sky color. Maybe a little bit of that sky blue. Ah, there we are. Get the brush on the floor. Back in my hand again. Soften that baby up there too. Now some more little lines there. Now Doji, I wasn't sure. Actually, Doji, we'll have to do a cobalt teal bluish marble video, won't we? Because, reasons. Nope. I want to have me a little. There we go. A little bit of that Naples yellow hue. That's what we needed there. And now we can do a little bit of the filigree up here. There we are. Rudder, okay. So actually, what I'm gonna do there, Doji, is I'm going to actually take some of these old tutorial photos from a blog article, like in 20, maybe 18, 19 years ago, something. No, it was like 2013, 2014, whatever. It was before the painting pyramid videos. And I'm actually going to try and make those into like a PDF reference for folks, and then we'll do some really exotic marble, like the kind of marble you don't see on anybody's miniatures or whatever, because these were pictures we were taking in a cemetery of all these different really exotic types of marble that I never knew existed until I saw them with my own eyes. Okay, okay, there we are. All right, you know what? Maybe we'll have this look a little more. There we are. Not quite like straight up holes, so much more shredded. That's probably the look we should be going for. There's more shredded wheat. Shred you up here too. Yeah, let's roll with that. Now, yeah, 2 hours, 46 minutes ago. How much paint was on here? There was no paint on here. No paint whatsoever. Is that going to be too skin tony? Nah, not really. I wasn't sure if you actually a Doji the homemade whatchamacallit, the homemade metallic oil stuff. It dried so fast that I can film the next episode in that series later today. And I did speculate right in the video. I said, since I'm making these myself, they might dry a whole lot faster than say like the interference colors. Or was I right? I was very right. So I'm gonna film that. Then I'll film the next episode in our Marble series. And then I know what I want to do for my next army painting series. I know I'm gonna be working on those sculpts on Tuesday/Wednesday. There we are. we have to somehow get one more substantial-ish wave element right in here. There. So we're trying to play connect the waves here. So yeah, Doji. I was thinking the Siri Republic, they would definitely have cobalt teal bluish, for sure, no doubt about it. Now these have to be a little bit flatter, right? These start to have a little more shape to them. The further back you go, flatter it is. I'm gonna get myself a little bit dark there. Some there now. Let's start to do a little something more here on the sides of Guerriere, which is then that's just how I'm pronouncing this. I'm pretty sure that's not how it is pronounced, but whatever. So for our windows in here, let me try something like this here. I don't want it to be too dark. And then we're going to redo some of the window pane lines here. Let's just tie these together a little bit more. And then we'll go, you know what, let me get the Windows there. Okay. I'm gonna maybe roll with this and the Naples yellow. So we got the essentially almost like a really light violet and a Naples yellow, almost a bit on the grayish side. I'll start to clean that baby up there. And I might break these. That's it. I'm gonna break those down into more sections here. Another set of windows there. Another set there. Indian yellow, fast matte white. Break it all down and poof. For some muzzle flashes. That's a bit of a 44 gun. How you doing right there? And now we can maybe start to get that reflected out here too. Finally getting to do these. And that raises, literally raises up those waves, having the yellow here reflecting. Not, you can see it's not over here, it's just in this area right here. Come on, a little bit more of this. Again, getting that yellow reflected light down into here, and a little bit more of the yellow in our smoke there. So I think this is the second of our, well, Constitution versus series. Yeah, it's at least the second. Is it? No, I don't think there's a third. This is the second one. First one was Constitution versus HMS Victory. Gonna get ourselves some this out here. Just find a place for it. Because I need to get a little more of an edge on that. I might try here. Let me try doing a little lighter first before we make that sail any darker. Let me see what happens with this. That might just be enough. That's pretty close to what we need there. Again, just we're breaking this down a little bit, little touch of thinner. Not a bunch. So I get some of our lights up on here. That part of the sail. This calf rig over here gotta get to, that is what's missing down here. A little more action here, and now we can maybe ship some lanterns there. Get the, there we are. That's, I needed to actually give that a minute or two to set with the oils, much like, let's say, green stuff and other things that don't cure, boom, right away. What is happening under here? I think we'll go darker. See if this dark is going to work. Ooh, that's just about right. That is just about right there. So that separates it from that much better. And now we have kind of this light in here where the light's passing through the canvas. Maybe a little less thinner in that. Now we had to kind of take some away with the really light color and then add a little bit of shade color in there too. I have to say it's been fun having the different overlays like this, and of course with our Compass Rose universe, with each new civilization will be yet another new overlay. No, Pascal, that is for the Compass Rose universe. That is for the Compass Rose universe. So that is right here. Do I have my book in here? Of course, I don't have it in here. Sadly, it's actually stuff that I did back in the 1990s. But here are some stickers based on the Seri Republic. Right there, that's the new video that I am working on right now. And yeah, I wish I had that in here. I had it in here, but I took it to my sister's house to show them. And actually, we can show you some parts of that universe here. Let me scroll up here. Here we go. So this is the overall star map. So the bird people that you've been seeing, those are the folks down in the lower left-hand corner. The Great Union of New Terra is kind of in smack in the center, and you see it up in the kind of up towards the top there, Pascal. That's the Jolaran Empire. Now it used to be it spanned everything from the Chitsak Alliance all the way to the Muskin Holdings. Now here we'll show you the little bit of presentation. So this is basically the human side of things. And now we're going to, again, that is the universe that it's called because all of the characters are on this particular ship right here. So there is that is the new home. That's Procyon 4. That is where the humans escaped to in that video that you saw. And there is Old Earth, right? That's where the folks that managed to survive and stay there. Now we get into the new worlds, Beltane Fleet Yards. We're going to get into Balana 5. This is the industrial world right here. That's where all the tech is, and here's where all the tech is conjured up. So Anchorage also is it's a massive, massive port, a huge space lane. Trade routes all kind of meet there. There's Meridian, the university world. And now here's New Horizon. That is the agriculture world. That's kind of the primary breadbasket of the Great Union of New Terra. And there is Avalon, the memorial world, right there. And again, you'll recognize this scene right here from that story that I showed you. So see you later, Doji. Have a good one. So Pascal, that is a whole series of stories that I had developed again back in the mid 90s. And I wanted to do things like illustrated novels. Obviously, I wanted to have the strategic game, the tactical game, but trying to make things like miniature. There was no 3D printing, right? So there was no way to make the ships. There was no way to make most of the stuff, not back then. But it's a little bit different now, right, right there, Pascal? There are more technological options these days. And of course, well, like the Cybertheria board game also leads directly into the role-playing game. And I was kind of hoping to do the same thing here, Pascal, is where one ties into the other. Here we are. And again, I am working on the Seri Republic now. Also working on the Muskin civilization. And the thing is, Pascal, I try to focus on the culture of each species. Actually, the Jolaren Empire there, Pascal, they build the largest theaters in basically all of known space. The average theater is about a quarter million people, and I already have the top five plays that are performed there. The number one play is that's going to be The Spear and the Scales, but there's also a comedy, Pascal. It's called House Guests. It's kind of like a British comedy, understated, not a whole lot of slapstick, because I wanted each civilization to kind of come alive. Yeah, we already have basically kind of theater and plays and music. Well, actually, there's a country music star that is very popular in the Great Union of New Terra. He's so popular that there's certain alien civs that also do. There's Buck Polaris impersonators. So yes, the Moskins. He's very popular among them, and yeah, just that was pretty funny when we came up for the images of the Moskins doing Buck Polaris impersonations. I'm gonna. Oh wow! Good thing I went over that. It was way too dark. Holy smokes! That would have been way too dark. I need to sharpen up the edge on this, and now on this side too. Only way I'm doing that, I just gotta make that darker. That wasn't the what I wanted to do, but gotta do that. So Pascal, the stories that I'm doing, now with the new tech are based on I think it was 235 years of historical events. Kind of begins I think 2146 is when it begins, and it goes for well over 200 years. Trying to expand out on these spars a little bit here now. That we won't be doing so much with the sky. And I can also get me some more of my lines out here. Let's see if we can get these developed like a so. Another one going there. Finally, our jib's got something tying it down. You got to have a sheet on there, otherwise you're not going to have much control over that sail now, are you? Yeah, we got this now. Also, well, let's see. I think this sticker here. So if you saw the Jolaren video, you'll recognize the unifier from that video. And then of our Siri Republic, you might recognize this sticker right here. That's actually some Siri humor right there. Now the Moskin, their ethos is based on the sacred tools. You could almost think of it as sort of a Ten Commandments type thing. The Siri, they kind of have a very lofty image of themselves, no pun intended. They help other species that maybe are not quite so big with the high thought type of stuff. Here, let's get some more lines now. There we go. We need lines all over the place here with our rigging. That's well, a little bit fouled up there. Get some more of that going this way. No, a net spar a little bit further out. There we go. That's more like it. More lines here. Oops, wrong. That one I was just about to put a rat line right here. It's like, nope, there's a whole bunch of smoke right there. Not gonna be any rat lines there. But And I'm going to try to, and then some of this yellow, some of this. Might even grab some of my fast mat weight here. Let me see if I can lighten you up just a little. Yeah, see now that's gonna bring this sail forward, set the other one back. Actually, Pesco, I have some. I also was working on the very first Jolarin miniatures, and it's the characters from that Spear and the Scale story. So again, every species working out busts, figures, the whole thing. Let me get this going here. I think I showed you the Siri Republic figures that I already printed out. I'm hoping to print out at least one more overnight tonight. There. I'll also try to do some bas reliefs and flats of some of the characters too. Let me get maybe this. So we got our Indian red / Mars red over here. We lighten that up a bit. There we go. That is what's been missing right here. Yeah, there we are. Gives us a little more distinction between our two ships there. Right, Sectrix? How you doing? Sectrix, I thought I sent you some more stuff today. If I haven't, I got a ton of stuff. I don't know if you've seen the videos there, Sectrix. Camden, that's just it might be difficult, Camden, because you might just be laughing so hard the entire time. But it's going to be a challenge for brush control, right, Camden? So, Sectrix, if you wanted to post some of your Instagram stuff in the chat, I've definitely been seeing a bunch of it. If you want to post some of that in the chat, please go ahead. So yeah, Sectrix, I'll make sure that I have a bunch of vids for you, kind of lined up so that when you have the time, you can check those out. There we are. And I still do like the idea there, Camda, of doing basically almost like a storytelling kind of an episode where we sort of let the videos play. Everybody check out the Instagram link that Sectrix just shared. Go check that out. Let me soften up that cloud a little bit more. It's kind of like our Cybertheria landscapes there. We're just again at the tops of the clouds, trying to get a little bit more of a illumination on the top of those. Like that. There we are. There we are. You can see I'm kind of doing this little bit of scumbling right here. With the oils, and you can thin the oils down as much as you want. What you can't do is dilute those bad boys. If like we're using this fast matte white here, I could dilute it to 97% thinner. It would still be white. That is not quite how it works with anything else. Trying to lighten up one last little bit of light in some of our muzzle flashes here. Now, what about on this sail over here? Let me see what we can do with this. Ooh, finally. There we go. Okay, so now we've got that. That's still looking more like it's in the water there. Collapsed mast. Do some more with the holes here. I mean, and you can get a chance to do like the sunglasses there, Cam. That you can have some scenes of Muska Prime reflected in his sunglasses. Yep, Sector X. There would be an infinite amount of really fun stuff to show you on that for sure. But again, hopefully things kind of and some sectors. See what I did there? That's why I do words. Hopefully some sectors maybe have kind of chilled out just a little bit. Look at, they're just kind of scumbling that in here. Perhaps. Oh yeah, I think that will work. Not everywhere here. Not everywhere. Just kind of that one area there, and then we sort of stop. Do a little scumbly somewhere else here. Is nice. There we are. And maybe one more. Ah, out there. Get that kind of. See, it creates a little road here. It's like it leads you right up into all of this fun stuff. Well, I mean, not so fun for these guys over here. Is the way it is. Little extra light coming through there. Sharpen up some edges over here too. Because I think I might have sent you that video, Can. That's kind of basically it's a Buck Polaris tour advertisement, and you've got miners and muskins and all kinds of stuff kind of hanging out at Ganymedes behind Buck Polaris. Couple more of our poles there in our sails and such. Maybe some bigger ones over there. And here, one more hit on that canvas getting down into the water. And now we'll maybe even do a little bit of a little secondary reflection there, like this, casting a bit of reflection in the water there. Still got the fast matte white going. I want to hit this over here. We haven't really done a whole bunch on this little wave there. You can see that's got some undulations in it now. It's not just one whoosh, giant thing, just like we got undulations there. Want to have the undulations. Trying to catch. I got a little late on the edge of this up here, and that will bring that forward for sure. Maybe a little too much contrasty there. We'll just take this and we'll just do a little bit of blending brush, and look at that. It magically disappears. can we do? Yeah, we'll do a bit more there, and now maybe a little something on the top of that. Again, that broken spore there. We need something for the stern wake on all of our ships here. Let's see. I think we got there. So that's what we're trying to do. A little bit of obviously there's not a big prop or anything like that, but we do end up a little bit of something there after the ship. Once again, a hit of that light up there, and now maybe a few just to flatten this out. Same thing over here. Just let that get flattened out. It smushes it down just like we do with our clouds. Let me try to there we are. Trying to get kind of the bottom edge of our smoke there. Maybe a little bit of smoke on again on across the deck here. Yes, in color no less, right, Camda? Now, well, Camda, you could print out all of your Cybertheria tokens and tiles in color. That would make them quite durable. I would think anyway. That would make them super durable. I want that is set really fast. There, go get me some thinner then if I want to use that. Now again, not too much though. Can't be too much. Okay, and that stands out as dark as that is from say something like that. I mean, look at you can see it's basically the same color as the sky. But you go in there again. What depending on what's around, there's enough darks around there to make that color look much lighter. Yeah, I can. If I had me a color printer, I'd be pretty interested to see just how would that look? That could look very interesting. I would like to, if possible, much like we did with some of our other ship scenes, we're trying to divvy these sails up because these lines right here, these four that I just did, how are you going to furl this sail? And also then unfurl it. If you don't have those lines there, that's how you lift these sails up, and they're like curtains. It's like curtains at sea there. Nope, that might not be dark enough. I shall try this again. And again, keep in mind for our Monday stream, which is coming up, well, tomorrow we're going to get to the small craft. Now, this is our Seri Republic right here. We're going to get to the small craft of our Terra Force, which would be some of the fighters, some of the bombers, some of the interceptors, that sort of thing. Not sure how many I'll be able to do on one stream. I'm kind of hoping to get a ton of them done. Armada Monday might end up being a little bit more like a Saturday challenge almost in a way. Now we're finally setting a bit more of an edge here. Making that darker, create like this is folded around like this. Darken this up some. Let me make sure we don't have any of the liquid on here. I think this will work. Yeah, that'll work as a micro blending brush right in here. Just gonna take this, see the little scrumbly. Creates enough blending. We want to have there. I need a little bit more texture on there. There was not quite enough texture on that. Just getting back to my reference here super quick. There we go. What about this up and now? This is another thing right here. I think I need to go a little bit darker. Yeah, even I didn't think that was quite so dark, but I guess it. Yeah, that's better. More of this up here. Define ourselves an edge. So yes, as long as there's nothing crazy going on there, Camda, uh, I want to at least do one of each. Ideally, I would because I wanted to try and do at least like the Black Forest Squadron. The Black Forest Hams. Try and get myself some more of these lines running along here. Now we sort of got that shadow there. We're good to go on that. Here, some more shadow this away. Down we go. I still like the idea of that not being too dark, right? Because this illumination is actually making those sides a bit lighter. That is in shadow, right? Because the way sailing ships were designed, that very bulbous nose of the ship there, so that would kind of almost be in its own little cast shadow there. Let me get again. That's some of our almost kind of a yellowish gray right here. That's got some of the Mars yellow deep, maybe a little bit of our yellow here. Naples yellow mix in there, so it's not quite so dark. Now, the way these are lighter, to have them wrap around, for this to look like it's wrapped around, we actually have to have almost like this little teensy edge of shadow right there. Because I keep forgetting there's no sail behind it there, so it might just work out pretty well. I need to do that here. That sail probably could, have a little bit of dark there as well. So again, that's see that sail kind of wraps around now, so you're not looking at just flat. You're looking at a little bit like this, right? So we're trying to foreshorten the sail just a tiny bit there. Now I'm gonna try to let's try to sharpen up some of the cannons here as well, and a couple of the gun ports. Let me because we kind of already did do that on Guerriere. Now we got to do that over here on Constitution. Do I have? Okay, we don't have the later on that. We got to sharpen up that edge. I shall do that. This wall that was really dark. What's this gonna give me here? Still kind of dark, so we're gonna get a little bit more of that Naples yellow. Lighten it up. Well, at least make it more of a mid-tone. Now we're talking here. Okay. Not gonna have the wrapping. Let's see if we can do it. That would have to be super light, as in like really, really, really light. Got that fast met weight. Sort of have it there. Now this is again another edge got to be sharpened up here. I have to push this shape further to the left here. I don't want to lose that little bit of bluishness that we got, so I'm going to bring some back. There we are. Alright, back to that brownish, darker gray. Back to the light we go. Carve some of that away. Oh geez, guess what we're now it's like 6 minutes away from, Canada. I just looked up there. Guess what's about to happen? We could get all of them. We go from a stream where we don't get any, and now we're going to get all of them. Actually, recoil, that's literally what we're doing with the compass rose. That is that is very much the same concept right there, which which would be certainly very fun. I'll have to see if Drakenfell has done anything there on those first cruises. Is nice. Now, so actually, Camda, now Recoil was able to actually play this song on the phone there. So I'll send you the song. It's called "First Off the Deck," and it's basically a song that you kind of would hear in the ready room, or in whatever the pilots maybe in a pilot's quarters area or something like that. And I wanted to get a lot of the ships painted, so it'd be kind of a what would you say, a little showcase video type of piece there for all the painted craft. No, I still like the idea of that being a little bit fuzzy right there. So yeah, I think we'll leave that be. I do need to make this dark again. Maybe the shadow hitting the mast from it there. Okay, we're gonna get some more of these lines here. Look at a little chaotic, of course. I will try this. I'm gonna be curious just how dark is this not Mars yellow deep compared to our cloud. Okay, it's got a little bit of darkness, also a little bit of color. Okay, that worked out pretty well. another situation here where we have a dearth of shape. We're going to try to add some back in here. Yep, even now that has more turn. That just didn't have a whole lot of turn before. Taking this our Mars, but if we mix it with the burnt umber, we get something that is a little bit more like a Van Dyke Brown. Maybe something vaguely rat-line-ish right here. Let's do something like those. Extra little bit of dark along the bottom of these cells here. Also trying to again sharpen up the edges as much as we can. I'm gonna darken up that part of the stern there. Yeah, something like that. So we just got a couple of minutes left there, Cam, for the thing that doesn't mean anything. You know, I'm gonna darken some of the stuff behind this flag here, and oh yeah, there we go. That was not really standing out before. Well, it's standing out now. Also, too, this would probably just cross over that. That was looking kind of funky right there. It's like, why is this too afraid to cross over that mast over there? And here, let's get a bit of the broken mast right there. Again, that has been snapped off. Now, again, kind of getting down into the water, fouling the rigging here. Like you do. Maybe try to throw a little extra jerk in front of that sail there. So less than a minute away now, Camden. We're getting there. Let me see, with this, yeah, that's soft enough. I'm going to take a touch of thinner here, not too much. Break that, some of that violet down in there. And I'm just going to try and do a little smoothing here, and also a little bit darker. Get along our top edge, partially because, well, my fingers have been on that, essentially wiping away some of the paint. So yeah, let's get that restored. Now we'll take, this is a blending brush here, just not doing this. It's a straight up and down tapping motion. That's what we're doing. Okay, that side pretty much. So let's see what we can do over on this side here. Goes over that, back to that same blending brush, which now has some of our paint in it. So you can see again how that starts to soften. That takes the edge off of it. Doesn't take it away, or at least not all of it away. Oh, we already have our 333 there, Camda. I guess we missed our Cinco trace. I looked up like, wait a minute, how is it 334 already? That seems like a false elapsation of time there. That does not seem like it. I don't know. It shouldn't have. That much time couldn't have passed by, but I guess it did. Time flies when you blending brush, and I do believe one of my stickers does show any brush can be a blending brush. Nope, that's the caress the brush one. Let me see if I can find that here. No, I haven't seen. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe there it is. Any brush can be a blending brush. I think I want to. Is this going to be too light? Oh, that's too thin. I know that for sure. Let's get that thickened up a little. Ooh, it is just right. So see, we got that little notch in there, a little undulation there. But I think what I might do, what I might just do, might be doing a little bit of a rady thing right now. Because we need to get ourselves, let's got to get ourselves some stuff going before we can try and do that sleepy thing. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we have to work on just yet. Got to get those prints going, otherwise we won't have anything to do. We won't have any of those marble bases to work on. That sounds really good there, Camden. That sounds a mite bit tasty there for sure. So of course we want to thank Armored Wolf for coming to do the moderations after doing all that work out there. We want to say thanks for all the bits and the subs, the follows, the cheers, the raids, but also too want to say thanks for everybody that kind of was trying to say, hey, you okay over there? Are you still among us? Even though it wasn't able to do the streaming thing. So that is much appreciated. And like I said, we'll see if we can do a maybe even a little bit of an earlier start on Monday or something like that to try and facilitate even more of those little ships being painted. So that is very much appreciated. Let's take a little look-see at our, again, there's Constitution, Guerriere, and you can see, well, it's already starting to get a little bit demasted right there, and not less and less maneuverable, right? You take away those sails. So again, I want to say thanks to everybody. We're going to get our raid countdown underway here. We appreciate all this, and again, we're going to be painting some of these fabulous little ships right here on the Monday stream. So see you later there, Recoil. Thank you so much. Got actually some more stuff to show you. So see you later there, Irid. And again, thanks for sending the message and stuff just to check in and see how things are. And we'll get that Easter bunny and eat 'em up good, right, Irid? Here, let's get this raid countdown underway here. There we go.